Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today I'm here with another unboxing and first impressions video, and this time it's the Xiaomi Mi 11. Now I've covered a couple other phones from them in the recent past, but this one is the most exciting yet. Brings a lot of really cool features to the table. Snapdragon 888 processor, the latest and greatest from Qualcomm with 5G technology. Pretty cool. It has a 120Hz AMOLED display, Quad HD Plus, so the finest of the fine. Fantastic resolution, high quality refresh rate, so I like that. And 108 megapixel camera. So lots of cool things, and we're going to dive in and take a look at it. But before we do, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's take the sucker out of the box. So here we are with the Xiaomi Mi 11. Really excited about this. Been waiting for this for a couple of weeks now. I can finally talk about it. No more hush hush. But this is a review unit they sent out, so your box probably won't look like this. Now this one, it came with a case, and go ahead and take this out just so we can have a look at it. Been really excited about this phone. I've covered a couple Xiaomi phones in the last couple of weeks, and this one is supposed to be the best out of all of them. It's got this nice cloth style case. I actually really like this. It's got this felt on the inside of it, microfiber. Cool. Looking forward to putting that on the phone. Alright, here's the good stuff right here. The Xiaomi Mi 11 5G Harman Kardon sound. So I'm really looking forward to that. It says here 5G connectivity will vary based on local operator capability. So this is the global unit, but it probably still won't work with 5G here in the US. I'll have to test that out. 108 megapixel camera, ultra clear. Let's get inside the box here. And because I like to look at all the stuff. A SIM ejector tool. Oh hey, we still got a clear case in here. And USB Type-C to 3.5mm headphone jack. That'll be important. User guide. And then another case. So this should come with yours. It's just a normal run-of-the-mill TPU clear case. But hey, a case is a case. Now, here's the phone. Take the sticker off. Take the back sticker off. Wow, this color is really something. I like that. I like the way this looks. It's going to be hard to put a case on this because I'm going to show the phone off. Xiaomi 5G labeling down there. Got the huge 108 megapixel camera there. This is supposed to be really good for video. Got the power button and volume rocker over here on the right side. It's got a nice feel to it. It's got a 6.81 inch screen, Quad HD Plus resolution. So that's nice. Selfie camera up there. It looks like there is a screen protector already pre-installed. I really appreciate that. Nice curved edge display there. It's got a nice balanced weight to it. SIM tray, USB-C charging port, and the speaker. And of course it's got dual speakers on it. You've got the other speaker up here on top. That's something kind of neat. So it's got the full stereo speakers down on the top and the bottom. Let's go ahead and press the power button. It's running MIUI 12.5, which is the latest and greatest. Set that off to the side, see what else is in here. And I can't use this charger, but you may be able to, depending on your region. And this is a super powerful charger. If I get the paper off so I can tell you what it is. So the charger here, 55 watt max. Wow, that's a lot of power. And of course we've got the USB-C charging cable. This is USB Type A to USB Type-C. So that's universal, you can use that wherever. And here's the phone. This is a really sleek looking phone. I am really impressed with this. Let me look on the back. Try and find the storage option on here. There's two different storage options. There's the 128 gigabyte storage, which has 8 gigs of RAM, and then there's the 256, which has 12 gigabytes of RAM. And mine doesn't say on the box, so I'll have to wait till I get inside the setup. I'm not sure which model it is that they sent me, but 55 watt wired and 50 watt wireless turbocharging. Wow, that's just insane. 120 hertz refresh rate as well. So let's see what this case looks like on here. Man, that is one clean looking setup. I'm really looking forward to testing out these Harman Kardon speakers on here too. I am totally digging this. That's very nice. It reminds me a lot of like the Apple leather case, but it's got this fabric material on here instead of the leather. So maybe we can get this set up, make sure there's nothing else inside this box. Looks like that's it. So that's the unboxing portion on the Xiaomi Mi 11. Come back after I get it set up so we can have a look at the phone. So here we are with the Mi 11. And this is one of the best phones that Xiaomi has put out on the market yet, at least in my opinion. And of course, it's running the Snapdragon 888 processor, which we just talked about. So that's a super tiny, super thin 5nm processor, which means that it uses less electricity and gives you more power. Two great things in the smartphone world because it allows it to capitalize on the battery and it will last longer and give you better performance. The phone does have a 4600 milliamp battery, which is enough to get you through the day, no problem. Now, if you turn on adaptive brightness, adaptive battery, dark mode, you can probably squeak some more time out of it. But with the complement of features that the phone has, 120 Hz refresh rate, which is nice. You get that beautiful, super smooth display. So you eliminate motion blur. It makes it really nice for just scrolling through your feed on your Instagram and your Pinterest and all those great things. I like it. You can turn it on or off though. And if you turn it off, it saves battery. Also, the Quad HD Plus resolution, super nice. And it's something that a lot of these flagship phones with the higher refresh rates don't support. One of the only ones that supports it right now is the Mi 11, other than like the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. Even the S21 and the S21 Plus do 120 Hz, but at Full HD 1080p. So this right here competes toe-to-toe with the much more expensive counterpart in Samsung, the S21 Ultra. This right here is going to cost you a lot less, and there are two different models. There's the 128 gigabyte storage model, which has 8 gigs of RAM, and then there's the 256 gigabyte storage model, which has 12 gigabytes of RAM. They don't have expandable storage space. I wish that they did. Unfortunately, they don't, and this seems to be a little bit of a pattern in some of the smartphone manufacturers. You look at Samsung, they did that with their latest phones. Now Xiaomi with the Mi 11, no external storage either. Do you really use it? That's a question. I don't particularly, but I like having it there as a backup in case I need it. And it also makes it nice to be able to switch media from one device to the other. If you're changing things, swapping it out, or want to put it in a media card to transfer it to your computer. So there are downsides. It does have UFS 3.1 storage though, which makes everything super fast. So you get the really fast storage space in addition to the high processor speed. And it's a recipe for magic. It works great. You can install things super fast. You can transfer things super fast. And I like that. Works out great. It does have facial recognition technology, so go ahead and turn the screen on. There we go. Got the check mark. It's really fast. It's really fast. There we go. Already unlocked. And you can set that to where you can swipe up from the screen, or you can just have it automatically open, unlike if you have an iPhone and you're stuck with having to swipe up after you get done unlocking it. So that's one nice thing that I like about Android, and also about the MIUI 12 that's inside of here. It supports that. So also, you can see there we've got the under the screen fingerprint sensor. This is an optical one, and it works pretty darn fast. Ta-da! And it's very accurate. I haven't really had any problems with it as far as accuracy. You pretty much just put your finger on there, and you're good to go. Let's see how fast it will work. So you can't just press it and make it go. You have to actually press and hold it for a second. And I just wanted to demonstrate that. That's one nice thing that I've enjoyed with the S21 Ultra I've been using. You can basically just tap it on there and that one opens. But this one right here, probably one of the fastest optical ones that I've used, and it's very reliable. I like it quite a bit. So no worries there. You do have light mode and dark mode on here. Dark mode will save you on battery as well. I happen to enjoy just using the light mode, which gives you this nice, bright, like white-based background setup. But we can go ahead and change it real quick. All you have to do is go into Settings, go to Display, and then it's right there on the front page. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. Bam. We're in dark mode. And this is the same place that you'll adjust your brightness level and your display resolution. You can change that between Full HD or Quad HD Plus. That's nice. Turning it down will save your battery. And then also the refresh rate. And right here is a little bit of an example. See if you can see that. There we go. You can see a little bouncing ball. And I'll show you the diagram on the screen. And it just gives you an idea of what the differences are between the 60 Hertz and the 120 Hertz. Maybe one day we'll get 240 Hertz. That'll be cool. Some computer monitors are like that already. But what that does is it helps eliminate the motion blur. So when you have a high refresh rate screen, the hertz is basically a number for refreshes. I don't know why it correlates that way, but 60 hertz means the screen refreshes 60 times in 1 second. So whenever you see something move across the screen quickly and it's kind of blurred, you can make it out because you know what it is, but it doesn't really pop out or stand out or look really smooth. 120 hertz means that the screen refreshes 120 times in 1 second. So that image, it refreshes so quickly that you can see it very clearly and distinctly, as opposed to the slower refresh rate. So that's nice, and it really makes for a good gaming experience. It makes for a nice experience when you're watching high intensity action movies and TV shows. And also, it's really nice when you're just scrolling through the screen because it makes everything kind of slow down and look more accurate. And it's really nice. It makes it super smooth. Play with it whenever you get the phone. And if you've used it on another phone, you know what I'm talking about. This isn't new pioneering technology. It's been around for the last couple of years. OnePlus kind of started the trend with the OnePlus 7 Pro with the 90 hertz refresh rate, and now a lot of phones are kind of getting on board with that. So this 120 hertz in an AMOLED at Quad HD Plus, that's where everything comes together and gives you the awesomeness, because a lot of phones aren't able to do that. They may do 120 hertz, but they make you do it at Full HD as opposed to Quad HD Plus, or it may be an LCD screen. So that's really cool there. I like that a lot. As far as the day-to-day experience, it has solid haptic feedback. It comes with Gboard already built in, so you don't have to go download that and set it up. Of course, you can go into the Play Store and get other keyboards if you would like, but for me, I really like Gboard. The actual operating system experience is great. It starts off with the menu buttons. It doesn't have swipe gestures set up natively. I don't know why they do that. You can go into the settings and change it. And if that's what you're used to, I definitely recommend that you do that so you can use the full swipe gesture based operating system support. So that's just one of those things. Make sure you go into your settings and you can adjust that. It's under the home screen settings, so you can change it. And also you have the option between 4 or 5 icons deep on your screen. I like to have 5 so I can fit more stuff and customize my home screen the way that I want it to be. And you can also set it up to where you can have an app drawer, or you can do it the old-fashioned way where you just have a bunch of apps all over the pages on your screen. Whichever you prefer, it's your own individual preference. The speakers on this thing are uncanny. It has dual stereo speakers. It has Harman Kardon speakers in it. That's really good. You got a speaker up here on the top. So instead of the normal headset speaker being like right here, you've got the speaker up here, up top, and then you've got an identical matched speaker down here on the bottom. Great sound, great volume, great performance. You're going to love it. It's perfect for gaming. It's perfect for watching videos. It's great for just turning it on and listening to music. And with the 4600 milliamp battery, you can listen to it for a long time. There is no headphone jack on here, so you're missing that. But it does come with a dongle in the box, so you've got a USB-C to headphone jack dongle inside the box. You're covered as soon as you buy it, which is really nice. It has a built-in screen protector on it, which is nice, and it also comes with the clear case inside the box. I also appreciate that. I really like when companies go the extra mile and make sure your phone is fully outfitted and secured as soon as it comes out of the box. You don't have to go buy something, or if you do want to buy something, you don't have to worry about scratching or messing up your phone in the meantime while you wait for it to show up. A couple other things. It does have Gorilla Glass Victus, which is the latest and greatest in Gorilla Glass technology. It's better than Gorilla Glass 6, and it's the finest they have to offer at this point in time. It should make your phone less prone to the screen cracking if you drop it, and it also is supposed to be better for protecting your screen from scratches. Although, keep the screen protector on it. Make sure you keep your phone safe. The longer you keep it safe, the better it will look, and the longer it will hold up over time. It has 55 watt wired charging and 50 watt wireless charging, which is absolutely insane. That's some crazy power technology right there. And if you've got the device to support that, then that's great. If you've got the adapter, the wireless charging base, you'll be good to go in that regard. It does have Quick Charge 4 and Power Delivery 3 support, so that's also good. And it doesn't have an official IP rating, but it does have 10 watt reverse wireless charging, so you can recharge your headphones, your earphones, your buddy's phone in the event that it dies on him and you're sitting in the middle of nowhere and you need to use some of your 4600 milliamp battery to help save their phone. You can be the hero of the day there. But just so you know, it does use a lot of battery to create that reverse wireless power share, and in addition to that, it's not very fast, but it's there in the event that you need it or for an emergency. Last but not least, I want to talk about the cameras. It does have a 108 megapixel camera. it is capable of shooting 8K video at 24 or 30 frames per second, which is really cool. And you can shoot 4K at up to 60 frames per second. When it comes to the front-facing selfie camera, it's only 20 megapixels and it doesn't do 4K video. I wish that it did. If you look at the iPhone 12 or if you look at the Samsung Galaxy S21 series, they support 4K at 60 for video recording on the front and the back. This one does it on the back, but on the front you're limited to a maximum of 1080p at 60 frames per second. So that's one of those offsets that you're going to look at when you look at the big price difference, because of course you're not paying $1,000 or $1,200 for a phone, but it's still, I think it looks good. And you'll see some more of this. I've got another video that I've got that shows off the video camera capabilities on the phone, which I've actually been pretty darn impressed with. So we'll hold that for the other video. But for now, just be aware there's no 4K video recording on the front. It does have a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera, and it has a 5 megapixel macro lens camera, so you can get those up close and personal National Geographic shots, as I like to call them. You can zoom in on the ants and the little water beads and all that cool stuff. So that's just one of the extra things it does. I'm glad it's not the 2 megapixel, because those just are not robust enough as far as the camera. So 5 megapixels is fine when it comes to the macro lens. And it also has 30 times zoom with the 108 megapixel camera. That's pretty cool. It doesn't have a dedicated telephoto though, so a lot of that is digital zoom, and it's not as detailed as it could be that far out, but at the same point in time, it is a nice feature if you want to get a closer look at something that's far, far away. So at least that's something that's built in, and it's fairly common with these 108 megapixel cameras, which also has 4:1 pixel binning. So that's what allows you to get such good, nice condensed pictures that really look vibrant, especially when you zoom in and look at them on the phone. So that's about it on my unboxing and first impressions of the Xiaomi Mi 11. I've really been using it. I really like the haptic feedback. I like the haptic feedback that's built into the fingerprint sensor, which works super fast. And yeah, overall it's a really enjoyable phone to use, and I think that the stereo speakers really, really complement this phone a lot. That's one of the winning features when it comes to this device. I think that you'll appreciate that quite a bit. So that's about all I have on the Xiaomi Mi 11. I will have other videos forthcoming. I actually have another one launching in tandem with this right now, covering the video capabilities on the phone. So make sure you check that out so you can kind of see what the phone is capable of from a video and camera and vlog perspective. But this is my unboxing and first impressions. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.